If you're not fired up and excited for the World Cup, hey, you better check your pulse. Something's wrong. Something's wrong, Deborah. I tell you, it's full of drama. What would you do if you had a minimum one-year contract at your job paying you $700,000, but you walked away from it? Better yet, answer this. What would your friends say if you did that? Boy, you crazy. We'll call him crazy if you want to, but Rolando McClain, he's walking away from it all. Again. He's hanging up the cleats and watching the NFL games like the rest of us on television. Still in Hoover, Alabama for day 4 of SEC Media Day. Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Georgia. The kids were here, but you know, Daddy came to town, and we're talking Nick Saban and Alabama. And I got to tell you, I was down in all of that hoopla, and he has, it seems to me, more security than President Obama. Neither Georgia nor Alabama have laws legalizing pot, and that's why the media is talking about Auburn QB Nick Marshall's marijuana bust. Reporting from the VBC straight to your TV, live and in color, it's the Alabama Hammers. Incredible atmosphere here. Man, it is like a party. This thing is going to go on until 7 p.m. tonight. Let me tell you something. If you're not here, you're a party pooper. What will you be doing in the year 2025? Well, I don't know. Not many people plan that far ahead. And if I had my way, I'd be driving my first flying saucer. But hey, anyway, football Southeastern Conference knows what they're doing in 2025. The Mustangs win back-to-back championships in the Super 6 championships. They're no longer staying in the Motel 6. They've gone from the outhouse to the penthouse of high school football royalty.
Great race.
It was a great race. And it was good to see that it was, in fact, back to normal. But there was something that wasn't normal. In fact, it was something that you hadn't seen since I was 1 year old, and I'm sure if you're good at math, you're probably itching to find out how old I really am. We'll talk about that next. Football here in the great state of Alabama is certainly king, but hockey, and especially UAH hockey behind me, well, over the years, they've held their own. But to borrow a term from the sport football, UAH last year needed a Hail Mary. This time of the year, being from the East Coast and all, I'm used to talking about basketball, but man, the football season never stops. I was talking to a viewer the other day, and he said, "Son, you're in Alabama. Welcome to football country." Steve, I'm going to interrupt you for a second because I've got another special guest with us. Stars infielder Josh Prince. Josh, you've been playing more like a king. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Talk about what's been working for you. If you didn't watch the NBA Finals right here on WAAY-TV, you missed a heck of a show. San Antonio trying to redeem themselves after last year's heartbreak. What in the world has gotten into the UAH softball team? Man, they are on fire. 5-0 to start the season. The forecast calls for snow. Opposing teams may need a little bit of it to cool those young ladies off. Here in the Georgia Dome, just when the Auburn Tigers needed it, Trey Mason played the game of his life. An unbelievable day for this young man, and he helped lead this team all the way to an SEC championship. Wow, the UAH softball team didn't seem like they were playing softball out at Charger Park. Game 2 against Valdosta State this afternoon looked a little reminiscent of T-ball. Good evening, everybody. Expectations are high for the Jacksonville State football team after their deep run in last year's FBS playoffs. But we all know to whom much is given, much is required. Now, the Gamecocks talked about that very thing today in Huntsville. JSU held Media Day at the Logan's Roadhouse in Southwest Huntsville. And earlier today, they were at the Ohio Valley Conference Media Day in Nashville, where they were named the preseason favorite to win the conference. But we all know that honor comes with a target on their backs. But is it good or bad to be picked first?
I think it's a great thing. You know, it goes in line, where we want to be program-wise. We'd love to be, ranked in the top 5 in the country every year and pick to win the OVC, and that goes along with our goals.
I think last year will help us a lot because we know what to expect now once we get to the playoffs. We know how to prepare for it better. And I think just that experience we had last year, it made us mature a lot.
Being humble and staying consistent and just not worrying about if this happens, then this happens. Just focusing on us as a team and what we have to do to get the job done.
More football news today out of Cincinnati. Former Alabama QB A.J. McCarron was placed on the active non-football injury list. Now, this means he won't be able to practice when the team starts training camp on Thursday. The problem is listed as his shoulder. Now, McCarron missed the beginning of OTAs because of shoulder tightness, but through at minicamp. McCarron can join the team when he is cleared to play. Well, speaking of shoulders, one Alabama football fan put their shoulder into it when sucker punching Tennessee Titans quarterback Zach Mettenberger over the weekend. According to a report by the Tennessean, Mettenberger was punched in the eye. Now, this reportedly happened in a Nashville bar after a man said "Roll Tide" to the rookie quarterback. The bar owner, Steve Ford, told the Tennessean, quote, "Here's the truth. The guy said something about roll tide to Zach, and Zach turned around and said, good luck with that. And the guy's buddy then sucker punched Zach." He also said Mettenberger did not provoke the incident. No charges will be brought against the assailant. Well, switching to baseball, it didn't take former Atlanta Braves Dan Uggla very long to find a new home. Talk about going from coast to coast. League sources say Uggla signed a minor league contract with the San Francisco Giants, where he was assigned to Triple-A Fresno. Now, there's a clause in his contract that says he must be promoted to the Giants by August 1st or be released from the team. His offensive production sharply declined, and he was released by the Braves on Friday. Speaking of the Braves, they lost at home to Miami 3-1 in 10 innings. Marvelous outing by Braves starting pitcher Julio Teheran, 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, but a no decision tonight. In the minors, the Huntsville Stars beat up Jackson 5-2. Starting pitcher Drew Gagnon earned his 7th win of the season. 6 strikeouts or 6 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts on the night. And finally, you have to check this out. What a birthday gift for 105-year-old Agnes McKee, who threw out the first pitch and yesterday's San Diego Padres game. How cool is that, Megan? The Oceanside, California resident became the oldest person to toss a first pitch at a Padres game. I'm willing to bet she's the oldest person ever to throw out a first pitch at a game.
She's got a pretty good arm for being 105. Better arm than I do. All right, thanks.
The season is over for UAH hockey, and despite having a rough season this year, the Chargers were certainly happy to have had a season at all. 35 years of UAH hockey and counting. The Chargers most certainly have a rich tradition.
There has been a history of success. We've been in the national tournament 2010. We've won the CHA as a division when we were in the CHA.
They've also won 2 Division II championships, but this was their first season in the Western Collegiate Hockey Association, considered by many one of the nation's best conferences.
It's basically like if UAH started a football team and we joined the SEC. That dynamic is accurate.
UAH finished with 2 wins, 35 losses, and 1 tie after losing in Saturday's season finale to Northern Michigan 5-2. The season was certainly
frustrating. You know, it's just one of those things where it's kind of hard to stay positive and keep your confidence up, but I think we've been doing okay of still being positive and just trying to find the good in every game.
Getting into a new league, obviously that's been a huge positive. But we also had to understand that going into this league, it was going to be challenging for our team.
Football here in the great state of Alabama is certainly king, but hockey, and especially UAH hockey behind me, well, over the years, they've held their own. But to borrow a term from the sport football, UAH last year needed a Hail Mary. And that's because the school had to make a choice, winning or existing. When the CHA conference folded in 2010, other schools were able to join other conferences, but UAH was the only school in Division I to be stuck without one.
I wasn't scared. I was certainly concerned because I knew without being in a conference that it would be very difficult for us to survive.
They were running out of money and couldn't raise enough funds to sustain the program without a conference affiliation. So school administrators took a leap of faith and made a pitch to join the WCHA. And in 2013, after months of discussions with the league, they said yes.
We sold more tickets this year than for a season ticket package than we've ever sold since we became Division I.
It's tough being independent, like you said. It's nicer being in a league and having something to play for, a championship or a playoff spot.
Give us an opportunity to build the program. I think people who are the naysayers, give us the opportunity to do those things.
35 years of tradition and counting. For our sake, we hope it'll be a tradition that will last for many years to come.